All right, guys, we're back from our break, so we can attempt a way to figure out exactly what's happening here, because it's weird. It's real weird right now, and we had to make some decisions. And well, here we are. Here we are. Oh, so friends. Sorry that we took a small break there. I needed to work through some things and figure some stuff out. I had my my brain shatter in that moment. So a couple of things happen here. I'm going to pick back up right in that moment where Daniel is teleporting down to the lakeside. Cort is finding himself in a state of death, lips beyond blue, blood vessels in his eyes, completely destroyed. It's just red through and through. Jakob, your moment of clarity, clouded by your fear, your vengeance, your anger, in hopes that this works. Admittedly, from an outward perspective, it is a bizarre choice, utterly bizarre, but we have gone this far, and if there's one thing that we do, we roll with the punches, regardless of how hard those punches hit. So, that's what we're going to do. And chat, you get to ride front seat to this. So friends, in the moment that you plunge the weapon, the alb blade, into the heart, the ceases. It stops immediately. You see as you begin to remove the blade that it begins to deflate. It seems to almost burn. Blood pours from that spot, this darkened, aged blood, but it is not quite coagulated. And you wait. And you wait. But what you don't realize is that everything changes. Everything stops. Ulhime, as you feel this heated steel pass through your body, splitting you in twine, your vessels severed, your beat broken, a voice from inside.
Ulhime.
We didn't think impossible. Freed. Just to die.
And then you feel nothing.
As he says free just to die, I'll try to get out to him before the full disconnect happens. I'll just tell him, I'm sorry that I failed you, Surabar.
There's nothing. And before you can even finish his name, you're standing back in that nebulous blackened void, your body returned to the state of which you are most familiar. It's your home. A zone for you to protect. A place where you left a boy. And it looks very, very different. Very different, Ulhime. What lay around you? Detritus, debris, now gone. Everything is vacated. And all that remains is a residue. A residue that hang and linger in all areas. You can see in the distance the steps of which Jimothy guards with his blackened shard. But Jimothy is not there. You reach out instinctively, and you see her arm is back. It's just the one. It's there, meddled in their pauldron, in the glove You can hear the click. And then you feel something scratch at the back of your head. While you may not have much in the way of feeling, you do have this much. And it is something that is subconscious on most levels. It's an old scratch, one that you used to do. Right on the back of your head, in moments of confusion. And then it dawns on you. You're scratching your head, but you can see your arm just in front of you.
I'll look down into the sides to see what's going on, or turn around behind me if that's...
You see a wisp, a line, a veil of air. And when you stretch it, it bends and moves and whips around in front of you. And you realize that you have a phantom limb. A limb made entirely of air. It bears no weight, and you pass your own right through it. But it's bizarre because you felt it scratch your head.
I would, I guess, try to see if it still has the same features, or like if I could clasp it and like rub my beard, if there's like feeling, if I start like trying to run my hands through or anything like that.
When you focus on it, yes. When you focus,
Okay.
you're able to pull at your beard and move your nose. You can pull down at your cheek, and as you seem to pull it across, it's a bizarre feeling. That phantom limb, it feels like it's you, like it's whole. But the moment that your eyes glance again into the distance at the steps, you immediately think of Jimothy, and it passes through your face.
Trying to keep, I guess, more of a combat-oriented mind, knowing that I have to keep a focus on this right arm now, or is it the left arm that's doing that?
It was the arm where you had the arm that you just gave to Navthatorin.
Okay, so it's the right arm. Okay, so yeah, I'll keep a focus on that right arm, knowing that I have the left one back. I'm assuming I don't feel any form of divinity flowing through me yet, so
No.
I'm not going to try and cast anything, but I'll head towards where I saw Jimothy's weapon.
Oh man, oh boy. Okay guys, I don't know how long everybody's gonna be here tonight. I will let you know right now that some decisions have been made, and that you may not be happy with those decisions, but before the night is over, you will all know of those decisions. And this is mostly to the players, but it's also to the viewer base. If you guys are watching and you're curious as to know what happened to Surabar, what's with the arm, and what else is to come, you will gain all of that information before the stream is over. So feel free, please take it back.
Yeah, so Ulhime will walk up to where Jimothy's weapon was, and he'll pick it up with his left hand, and pretty much looking out into what would be the abyss of Helm's domain, he yells out, "Jimothy! Jimothy!"
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Ulhime will keep the weapon ready, but he's gonna start listening to
You
see
do
if there's anything.
recognize
Okay.
the film that's on the ground. You recognize it from the depths of Cauldron, in the bowels of the volcano. It's the same consistency. It's human skin.
Oh shit.
As you're bent over, feeling this, smelling the sweat and the residue of flesh, You feel something wrap up tightly around the base of your neck.
He'll take the weapon and cut the whatever the hell's trying to pull at him.
And the moment that you try to pull at whatever this is that's holding on to you, you're ripped from your realm. You're ripped into a spot elevated high above the boneyard.
Fuck.
You recognize this place when you see the line stretching unending.
Bro, you talk to her, Bubs. Talk to this bitch.
Here's the thing. It's not Pharasma.
Oh boy.
Who or what is it?
You're released. Do you spin around, anxiously attempting to swing at whomever this is?
Yeah.
Then allow me to give you a description. When you spin around, standing before you, a beautiful, naked woman. I can see your confusion.
I think I know who it is.
All that she has, that she's donning, is a necklace, thick by design. It looks like a choker, but not thin across the neck. It drapes down over the collarbones, and a pendant of what looks like a bloody and burning skull nestles between her breasts. Her eyebrows furrowed tightly down, in a face of judgment. Her lips pursed. These, what looks like arrowheads, seemingly come off of her hair, tapering it up in what looks like a rear side halo. And where she steps, as she walks around you, traces of blood lie in the wake of her footsteps.
Who are you? Speak your name.
Don't pretend like you don't know who I am. Let's skip the pleasantries.
Oh, okay. He remembers the voice then. Joss.
Yes. You've come to my home, my sister's home, and here I rip you from a lesser god's realm. One that could not stand the trial of feathers. One that is forgotten. And you angle yourself friends with removers of history. Allied with a killer of men. Speak. I will not wait much longer. You have a moment to defend yourself. But only a moment.
You're right. And because of that ally, we lost one of the greatest casters that this realm has ever seen. If judgment is to be passed on me, then so be it. And he kind of opens out his arms.
I've watched you from Thelsa's eyes. I can see through her movements. She is my waking avatar. In your lands, my champion. To herald my cause, to bring the beliefs of my people to a desiccated land. And you still follow. No.
Her eyes trace over silver several times before finally falling back.
You follow no one but yourself. Even non-believers of Ouija still follow someone from above. And surely, you believe in something. You wound up here in this place, above the boneyard. Look, Ulhime.
And she points off into the distance. They're waiting, watching. Like a jaguar or a cougar from the tree line. The voice. Saliva drips from his open maw as he hovers in the air.
He's watching you. You're here in the boneyard. And my sister Pharasma, well, she's frankly tired of you, and I can't blame her one bit. You think you're untouchable, and you think yourself a god. Yes, you have gifts, blessings. But you did not earn those. You stole those from greater men who earned them themselves. That arm, it's a last gift from Surabar Spellmason. I've collected his soul. I'll not be leaving it in the boneyard. Mind fragmented, it will take time to bring him back. But he is now forever with me. I've heard his screams for hundreds of years, yet I cannot intervene in certain rituals. Some things are just set in stone. You will no longer go back and believe, Ulhime, in this lesser god. Because Helm is dead. Helm is no more.
As she says that, he'll look down to the gauntlet.
When she
And is
says
that why?
you peer down. You see the face of the boy fading away as the armor moves itself in a position that looks natural. As the emblem of Helm disappears from the top of your hand.
Yes, you still have divinity. A gift from someone who was actually a true follower of Helm. And now they lie on you. They thought you were a means to an end, to bring back his greatness. And you let a boy die. You brought him here to suffer, and then he was swallowed by one of your mistakes. See, I've been incapable of operating due to certain regulations that my sister has put into play. But now something has treaded through my realm, through my sister's realm, from yours. And Pharasma, to say that she is irritated is
She stops, and she does that that jaw tuck where you're like, Like,
Yeah.
you don't even know what you've done.
Whatever it was, it came through, tearing a swath of bodies with it. And now it rests beneath your home, this volcano.
That creature, then, it's...
If you'd like to call it a creature. From those that survived the encounter waiting in the boneyard line, their only descriptors was a nightmare beyond belief.
I think I know who or what the creature is. And I already know where to find it.
Well, I suggest you do. I've taken something from you, Ulhime. But I've granted you something in the same. You will work beside my champion. You will be her grandfather. as she is the great mother of my church. Helm is no more, as is your memories of him. I've tore him from your lineal family. Nothing of him walks your mortal plane ever again. And the body that he consistently gloved himself upon, unfortunately tearing away that kind of power. That soul was lost.
Charlie!
She
bro!
points down into the line. And there, you see the portly man with the golden wavy hair and the stylized beard. Charlie Miles. He waits to be judged at the Boneyard Gates.
You see, as Ulhime sees him in the line, he'll kind of like turn, like he'll put his like head down and like as a show of respect, and he'll just mutter under his breath, "He'll be judged nothing more as magnificent," because that's all he was.
He followed someone else who thought that they were a god. Age has a funny way of keeping you from realizing the truth. Mortality still exists on your plane. And just because you continue to be reborn does not mean that you cannot be killed permanently.
I've already been humbled by that idea.
I do not need to quash your pallid shield with gaping maw on that mayor's wall. If I wished to pluck you from this place, no one may stop me. The divinity that is in you from a believer of Helm remains in you as stagnating power. You will follow the tenets of Wejas, of me. You will continue to call me by the names of those from the plane you exist upon. But you will know me most as the Ruby Sorceress.
Looking down at the gauntlet, Ulhime will look back up to her. You said you had to piece Sorbar back together. Would taking the divinity from this help with that?
No. No, I'm afraid it is not, as the damage that was done to Sorabar Spellmason was done with an alb blade.
A what?
An alb blade, from a place not of this. A place even out of our touch.
When I was with Memory or Sorabar, how did I get pulled from him?
From whom? From Sorabar?
Yes. As I was...
Your
being
demon,
released.
your pet, flinched his scythened blade through the center of the heart.
Why? For what?
Oh, it's a question I've been asking myself since I've seen. Oh, and if you don't act fast, Cort, that boy you care so much for, your moral compass, he's going to wind up here in the boneyard. I don't mean eventually, I mean within the next minute.
You get a flash and a vision of the real world. Cort, eyes blue, or excuse me, eyes bloodshot red as all of they burst. Not the eyes themselves, but the blood vessels have burst, and it looks like it's just bleeding all over his face, constricting veins trying to rise to the surface, and lips blue. His fingertips hold no color. And there is a very distinct, scissor-like punch through the apparatus in his chest. And you can guess where that came from.
If I can get to him, I can use one of my spells to repair it.
Then consider this the last gift.
She blinks, and before her eyes open back up, you're there. You're in front of him. Thelsa is mid-spellcast. Daniel nowhere to be seen. And Cort, right there.
So, as I get teleported back,
Here's the thing.
and yes.
Nothing is moving. Everything is stuck.
Oh shit.
Temporally. Time has ceased in this moment. You have the equivalent of 3 standard actions. You have that much freedom to right the wrongs. And then you are expected, as you probably could have guessed, to follow in the line of Weejas.
Yep.
And that's when she tells you at that point,
A rule of 3. It will not come twice.
So just to be sure, I am at the moment where Daniel's about to teleport.
no, Daniel's gone.
Okay, Daniel's gone, but Cort is right there.
He's literally
okay.
like frozen with his jaw tilted up, his
Yeah.
chest, like you can see the veins straining in his neck, and he's bleeding profusely down his person.
Then I will cast Make Whole on that fucking puncture.
Okay. Show us what Make Whole does. The spell repairs damaged objects, restoring 1d4 hit points to the object. If the object has the broken condition, this condition is removed. If the object is restored to at least half of its original hit points, all of the pieces of an object must be present for the spell to function. Magic items can be repaired by the spell. I'm going to leave it to a 20% chance. It was a heated and quick moment. 20% chance.
1 to 20. We'll just leave it at that.
That couldn't have been further.
Correct.
Reroll?
Yep. Same numbers?
Yeah.
You want me to burn all of your rerolls? Is this what you wanted for?
Yeah, I'll use it on. We're pretty much ending the session anyway, so.
There you go. They were all there. The leather wrapping and binding of this that seemed to hold it to his person managed to maintain all of the parts inside. And with luck, you're able to pour this energy. And the magic is different this time. It flows from your right arm. Wind seeps from the upper palm. And it seems to bind itself and start tethering that leather back together. But as the wind leaves your hand, Weejas's effect in the exchange of your magic is shown. It flees from your palm. The color of blood. Bloodied mist paints his person and begins to bind that device back together.
Can I do a bit of a cosmetic change if you're cool with it, since this is like a official pact that I'm doing with her?
I don't see why not. Sure, go for it.
Cool. So the as you said, the divinity for more or less Nadrama is gone.
No.
It's no longer
No,
there.
Nadrama is there.
Oh, she's still there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nadrama is the only thing keeping that arm and you a lich.
Okay, cool. But the energy type will change somewhat, or at least the aesthetic of it.
Okay, go for it. Let's see it.
So, as this red mist binds the apparatus back to Cort, you see that red mist more or less revert back towards Ulhime's platinum gauntlet, and it starts painting the blue ruby in the center where Helm's eye was into a red one. No symbol yet, and then where Jimothy's face was, you see the shoulder starts to contort again, and the rest of the armor starts to become this like crimson red color. The gauntlet itself becomes more clawed at the fingers, and the shoulder then becomes the symbol of Weejoss herself, like her actual red skull mask is what is there now.
Okay.
And his eyes are no longer golden yellow, but they are a fucking crimson red.
They no longer emit color, however. They no longer emit like that glow, that bloom.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would still just. It's like a.
You just have red
like
eyes.
Yeah, it's like a deep red. Well, it's the black to red, essentially, what it is now.
It's the color of blood.
Yeah. So yeah, that's new Ulhime.
The wind will never change on the
I
arm.
prefer the skin variant.
The wind will never change on the arm. It doesn't seem to take. This last parting gift from one of the greatest minds ever delivered unto the human race. Surabar Spellmason will never be seen again in these lands. His soul was destroyed by the Owlblade. You have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Charlie was seen in the Boneyard. And Helm is no more.
Who?
Exactly. You have 2 standard rounds left. Do you do anything with them?
Yeah. I am going to dump the last 2 channel positive energies into my good boy over here.
Okay.
So that way he at least gets some of his vitality back and hopefully some organ growth back on his body. So, So we had 19 and 14
Okay.
is what you get back.
Now,
And then it's like these red pulses just go and yeah.
it moves again. The camera shifts to Daniel. Daniel, in that moment, you blink, and the sky dampens red. You hear something crumble in the distance. You have no idea what it is. It's a few rows up, many houses down at this point, and you're not sure. You never quite remove that stench from your nose. It still remains. But you can't seem to place or find it. There's nothing here that looks this way. But the only vision that you have, you see children at the wayside of the beach, the Crater Lake beach itself. Her child is grabbing up handfuls of mud and are eating it. The child is far past skinny. Flesh is waning, hanging on as if it's more or less a sack of bones. Thelsa, when you blink, there's a flash of red that taints the sky, and when you glance over, you see Ulhime standing right next to Cort as this strange mist emits from his hand. It pools up over his person as it's binding the leather back over the apparatus. And you see the pulses again, this time not golden light that pours from his body, but waves of red, in a color that you are all too familiar with. A kindred spirit as he turns, while he remains unclothed. You recognize the face that decorates the shoulder guard, and when his eyes find yours, no longer golden glowing, but blood red. Cort, you blink several times. I still have to decide the level of damage done.
Yeah, probably a lot of it as per normal.
You are without breath for probably a minute and a half. There's going to be some subsisting damage, but the device on your stomach is repaired, and your last vision before you black out is Ulhime.
Evil Ulhime.
It's an Ulhime. And back here, Jakob. A flash of red. Something shattering in the distance. You hear stone crumbling and falling. but you couldn't be further away from concerned. The heart deflates into ash. Ash and blood. And you wait. Alone. No one there to greet you, to pat you on the back, and to declare that you are a friend, an ally, or that you will be remembered. The scene, a metaphor for much more. And this is where I call tonight's episode of Shackled City.
Dang.
Dang. It was getting deep too.
Helm who? What? Dude, bro. Ruby Sorcerer sends her regards, fam.
Yeah, we're gonna be like mother and father in crime.
Dude.
It's
Dude,
really weird.
we just like, yo, your homeboy, like, he done. But I see you got the divinity still. You
Got a promotion.
you down to roll red? And I'm like,
Demigod spot.
I'm like, we rolling bloods now? She's like, yeah, you rolling bloods, fam? And I'm like, yeah, fam, we're rolling bloods. And she's like, take this tabard. Tell Thelsa, blood in, blood out. And I was like, all right, fam, lit.
So I hope that everybody here enjoyed themselves, enjoyed the tale. They got the full value out of their luck rerolls that they put forth into the game. And while nobody died, at least no player died, we lost 3 incredibly important figures to this tale. We lost Charlie Miles,
That's not
Dude,
good.
why you gotta do him like that, bro?
a
Really-
beloved,
It's rough.
a beloved NPC, stripped from the game. The death of a god, Helm.
Who?
Exactly.
Well, no, we lost 2 people. There was no third. What are you talking about?
Oh, who was that second then? Who was the second one that died?
Must not be
Suraba.
important if we can't remember him.
Surabar Spellmason.
Suraba.
Suruba.
Bro, like, I don't...
Do we
Your scythe
now?
literally was
I'm gonna-
translated to unbind, and you're like,
I'm going to
Better
pause that
stab the
line of
heart.
thought right there because I'm waiting for it to hit Ulhime that Jimothy is also dead.
oh no, I figured as much. I already knew that. When you said the creature left the what's his name, Lesser God's domain when we were talking about Helm, I was like, oh, it's probably Jimothy that mutated and fucking went ham and started eating all the other people. Broke out, and then she's like, you gotta go fix this shit. It's technically still your problem. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry.
Still your problem. You still have to pay for it.
But bro, I'm looking a little decked out now. That little blue sapphire turned into red ruby. I'm like, dang, look at me, bro. I'm looking sick.
I don't
Alex-
I have to deal with Cort coming back with like a lot of.
I legit look like a fucking Sith Lord just showed up like out of nowhere. They're like, this is boss music that's gonna play with this guy coming back. And I'm like,
Maybe we can't be the flurry of bros anymore. Maybe we're the flurry of we just now.
I mean, we're still the Order of the Shield and Soul.
We're Blood
but-
Fury now.
Are you telling me that I just burnt a teleport spell to try to save you, in which you just got saved, and now I'm almost 100 miles away from everybody?
What are you talking about? Who are you trying to save?
I went to
Crater Lake is like 120 feet away.
Okay, well, you know what I mean.
A distance.
What, like, who are you trying to save in the lake? I wasn't even there.
No, I was just trying to. I figured something crazy was happening, so I was like, hey, smell of craziness.
How about this? You heal up first. You're like, you know what? Stop the bleeding here,
don't
and then
have
we
any-
go check.
I don't have any of that.
So I'm going to leave the viewers with this before we go and we do what we typically call our post-show talk. We may have lost some characters. We may have lost some important figures in the community. And while everybody's thinking that this is probably going to be an evil campaign, even though that's not really the case, you guys are just trying to make the best of a bad situation.
All right, so Cort's gonna go around and he's gonna start cutting heads off of us.
Your struggles are real. This may have cleared up some things. It may have defined some old issues, but it's created entirely new problems. I want
Yeah,
that to
I know.
rest. I want you to think about that. And this is where we go to our after show. Guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I do appreciate that. I love your faces. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did not, well, sucks to suck. And if you did enjoy it, tell someone about it and bring them back next week. Go tell a friend. Go tell a sibling. Tell your cousin. Get your neighbor. Knock on the door. Pull up that red solo cup. Tighten that string and whisper into it. Get someone into the game. Tell them to come out here. Tomorrow, we're probably going to hop back into Control for a couple of hours, and then it will be episode 2 of Alien. And Friday, we have a Patreon 12-hour stream. I love your faces. Do what you do. Stay safe, stay nerdy, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
y'all.
We out.